All right, my people. We are absolutely back, and it is hot as hell in here. And I have about 30 minutes of film, digital virtual film left on this camera before I have to pause and upload it. And we are just going to go straight on till morning, as much as we can manage to do. So. We left off. Dale Walker is in a bit of trouble, as you can see. He has been knocked down. He has been frozen. He has taken 8 out of his 10 possible damage that he can take. So he's going to stand right back up and get back into the fight. The best thing that he could possibly do, I believe, is attack this vampire back. And then maybe he'll try to escape or something like that. But first, we're going to stand him up. That's going to take 1 action to remove that stun effect. We're going to remove his frozen effect. And that leaves us with 1 action remaining. And he is going to... Oh, I need to reduce the cooldown on all of his stuff. There's 1 there. There's 1 there. And he's going to attack that vampire. And because he was frozen last turn, unfortunately he gets -1 die to his attack. So he is just going to be rolling 4 dice for this. So in order to help ensure I'm going to hit, we are going to make him go to Crazy Town. So if you remember, for 1 insanity, I can add the chaos die to my attack. And that is exactly what I am planning on doing. So we're adding the chaos die to our attack. We're rolling 4 dice. We're swinging with his gas pipe. And we're going to see what we can do. Okay. That was not good enough. So I rolled a 6 and 1 skull. The skull counts as a hit. But I would need 3 hits to overcome that vampire's defenses. So, not successful there. And plus, I get a unit of wear of, what do you call it? Durability lost on my pipe. So, that was no good. But, we will see what else we can accomplish. The other thing I can do with him is use his acrobatics to get the heck out of there and hopefully get to a place where he'll be a little more safe. So I think the safest place for him is going to be closer to everybody else. So we are going to move him 1, 2 with his acrobatics skill. So that's going to cause him to take 1 more wound. And that is unfortunately just what we're going to have to do. So he is now at 9. He takes another one, and he is dead as a doorknob. But that's how it's going to have to be. Okay. Now we are up with Peter Constant. And Peter Constant has an interesting turn ahead of him. First, we're going to reduce the cooldown, and that means his Demon's Favor is ready to use again. I think. I don't know. A lamp fell on the table. So I'm not really sure what was going on. Also, my goodness, but it gets dusty in this room. There's a layer of dust over the entire game. I have no idea how that happens. Gonna have to investigate into that. Anyway, back to the game. So Peter Constant, his Demon's Favor ability is ready to use again. And he also has Unstable Energy if he wanted to use that. And he's going to use, he's going to do an attack against this vampire. So he's going to go 1, 2, and he's going to use his wooden cross, and he's going to attack with Demon's Favor. So we're going to put this right back on here for the cooldown. And this is attack twice, and his attack gains the fire ability, or the fire trait. So, I feel like this shouldn't be already the end of the cooldown, but we will just run with it, because I'm not sure exactly what was happening. So, his wooden cross gets 4 dice. He's going to add an additional one, so his gets 5 dice because he has a sharp mind. And it has that flame ability. And we are going to, for the first one, we're just going to roll it like it is. So 5 dice, and we're reducing the defense of the vampire by 1. Okay, so that was 3 successes, because a 4 or better counts as a success. The vampire has 1 defense because I reduced it by 1, so it takes 3 damage. Perfect. Right? No, that was 3 successes. It has a defense of 1. It only takes 2 damage. So the vampire is going to take 2 damage here. We'll put that on the space with that lesbian vampire cheerleader. And we are going to attack again because I get to attack twice. And for this attack, I'm going to increase my insanity, and we're going to add the chaos die. And hopefully we can finish this thing off. We'll see. No, that wasn't a great roll. So I got 2 successes plus a 5, which is another success. So that's another 3 successes. The vampire takes 2 damage again. And that brings her to 4. And then he also has to take 1 durability for his wooden cross, because that is how the ability says to do it. So that was his whole turn. Okay. Now Marcus Dieter's turn. Now Marcus Dieter could possibly... he has a lot of things he can do. But maybe he should try to kill this vampire too. So he's going to head over there. 1, 2, and now he's in the same space with the vampire. And he's going to try and kill her. So, he has to lower his cooldown on his ability. And then, what is he going to do? Let's see. He has the Lobotomy Spike, which is a pretty nice attack. And he also has a Scalpel that he gets to use for free. Well, since he gets to use a Scalpel for free, why not do it, right? So, we're going to use our Scalpel to start with. Okay, that was only 1 success, so that doesn't do us any good. And then he still has 1 more action left. I shouldn't have done this with him. I should have gone somewhere else, but that's okay. He has 1 more action left. He's going to use the Lobotomy Spike. And because we really want to kill this vampire this turn before she can run away, we are going to get an insanity, and we're going to roll the chaos die. So we're rolling 4 dice. If one of these is a success, or if one of these is a 6, I get to roll an additional chaos die, because that's what the Lobotomy Spike has to do. No 6s, but that is a really nice roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. So against 2 defense, so that is 1, 2, 3 successes, that is enough to kill the vampire. So that vampire is dead, like so. Perfect. Alright. So, a lot of things happen now. But first, let's deal with the aftermath of this roll, because I did roll a 1. So we're going to have to put another wear, or durability, on the Lobotomy Spike. And then, I'm not sure, do I get anything for killing a boss enemy? I know that for killing an enemy, I do lower my one of my cooldowns by 1. But then I'm not sure if I get anything special for killing the boss enemy. But I know I do start the next scenario. So this is very exciting. Okay, so I don't think I get anything special for killing a boss unless it says memorable. So we are just going to go straight into the next scenario. We already are in the Vampire's Desire scenario, and let's reveal the next one. And it's going to be, we cannot do Big Bad Wolf because that only is only playable with Kickstarter exclusive materials. I don't know why they included that in the box. But you know what? There's a lot of things about this game that don't make a lick of sense. And the next one is Twin Defense. Okay, so we're going to do the Twin Defense scenario. Save all twins by defeating monsters on the same space as them. So, let's figure out how to set up Twin Defense. Alright, for the Twin Defense scenario, I need to randomize these 3 pairs of twins onto the board, and they are going to be people that I'm going to need to defend. They are going to act as allies, although they won't be doing any fighting themselves, but they will be attacked constantly, and I'm going to need to save them by killing enemies that are on their space. So, let's randomize these 3 pairs of twins to start with. So, A11 is 1 pair of twins. So A11 right here. And it also says that I need to put a die with showing a 5 on it, because that is the handicap for having only 4 players instead of 5. Normally it would be a die showing a 6. All right, the next twin is on 2 or B8. Already on a space with a monster. That's not fun. Okay. And then the next twin, the next set of twins, is something 2 is C2. All right, so C2 right here, and we'll put another die showing a 5. And how that 5 is going to work is that's the number of monsters I need to defeat. Although bosses are going to do more to doing that, but basically if I defeat a monster in the same space as a twin, I reduce the number on the die by 1, or if it were an elite monster by 2, or if it's a boss monster by 3. And then I'm trying to protect the twins. And this is nice, the twins might actually attack monsters in their space, or unfortunately they might attack the good guys in their space. Alright, also these twins have a number of abilities. They are elite, ethereal, and they have avoidance 5. So let's look in our nice player aid about those abilities. So elite basically just means that they're a certain type of monster. Ethereal, they move through walls and doors, and if they're the only monster in the space, we can move from them. And avoidance 5, I think that's going to be the big one. So avoidance 5 means for each damage received from an attack, roll 1d6, and if the result is 5 or 6 for avoidance 5, that damage gets avoided. So every damage they take, they have a chance of avoiding it. Plus, they have 2 shield. So, that's it. They're not moving, they're not attacking, they're only being attacked themselves. And as long as the vampires are still around, we still have to deal with the vampires as well. So, we definitely want to try and save these twins, but we want to try and kill that last vampire as well. It is now Helena Swan's turn. So Helena Swan is going to reduce the cooldown on her abilities. And let's see here. I don't think she can make it to where this other vampire is to try and attack that vampire. But she could intercept the attack so that Dale Walker doesn't have to get attacked by a vampire, and that might be a nice thing. I think that might be a good idea, actually. So Helena is going to go 1, 2, and that's pretty much where she's going to hang out, so that that vampire is going to attack her instead of Dale Walker. Yeah, I think that is probably the best move. I don't know, she was here. I could also move like 1, 2, 3 and attack that enemy, but let's... I don't know. maybe she shouldn't. Maybe she shouldn't intercept the attack. Although it would be really good to do that. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We'll do 1, 2. We're not going to move all the way into the space. It's just, I always hate in these games when you don't use all your full AP. You have so few AP, and then when you have a turn where you don't use them all, it feels like such a waste. But I think this would be a good way to do it, because that way I'm not in the space with the vampire, so the vampire can't do like negative abilities against me at the start of the movement phase. But I can still be in between the vampire and Mr. Blade or Mr. Dale Walker, so that the vampire won't finish him off. So, let's see what we get for the movement card. A Shattering Screech. All characters roll an imagination test. If they fail, they lose 1 insanity, which means gain 1 insanity. Don't ask me. So, the imagination test is roll 2 dice. You want to roll at or below your imagination. So, Peter Constant fails. Marcus Dieter succeeds. Helena Swan succeeds. And Dale Walker surprisingly succeeds, so only Peter Constant fails. So unfortunately his imagination is now, or his insanity is now pretty bad. We then have a green star, so both Vampire's Desires and Twin Defense have these green star abilities. So you can see how this game gets pretty crazy. So first, all characters on spaces with the vampires get a weakness token. Okay, that doesn't affect me very much. And then the Twin Defense one, Twins have a -1 penalty to their defense this round. Oh, joy. And then the Warden does move, so he is currently on the space with a 4. He's going to move to the space with a 5. Now he's going to go all the way around this board, but we do want to avoid him. So as soon as he gets onto this B board, we might want to get out of there, because if he steps on you, it is really bad. Okay, so then we're going to deal with all of the monster movement. So, starting with this first tile. Well, now all of a sudden, these twins are something that the patient wants to get at, so he's going to go back inside this room and start going after those twins. This guy is another patient. He can go 1-2 to attack the characters here, or 1-2 to attack the twins there. Well, let's see. I believe the rules say that if there's a choice, the monsters will go after the character with the lowest defense and then with the lowest health. I wonder if that's in this player aid here. Nearest character, nearest unseen character. Yeah, it's the lowest defense and then the lowest health. So, that means that they're going to go after Marcus Dieter, which is nice for the twins. So we're going to go here. This guy's going to stay where he is and attack those twins. This guy, unfortunately, is going to go attack these twins here. Is that all one space? I think it is. That's another thing about this game. Sometimes it's hard to tell when there's multiple spaces on the board, because for some reason they covered up the spaces, the lines that designate the spaces, with the artwork. Who knows why? For this nurse, I'm going to have to check out the Soul Eater trap. So we're rolling a die. On a 1 through 5, she does not move. That was a 3, so she does not move, and she takes a damage. And Helena Swan would regain a health if she could. Okay, then we've got this vampire. We should have moved her first, but we're going to move her now. And remember, the vampire can take a special form, because she didn't take any damage this turn. And she got a 4, so she's in the rat swarm form. She has +1 to attack rolls. So, she's going to go right over here, and she's going to attack Helena. So I've dealt with everybody in the top half of the board. Now let's do the bottom half of the board. So this patient, let's see, could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, good. Helena is closer, so he's going to go toward Helena. That means this guy's also closer to Helena. Oh, that's only one movement. This one, we have to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, closer to Helena, thank goodness. 1, 2. And this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is closer to the twin, so he's going to move toward the twins. Okay, and we have a bunch of people over here, and I assume that they're all closest to Helena as well. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the nurse is going to go 1. All right, very nice. And now we're going to deal with attacks. We are going to start with the vampire over here. And remember, she has +1 to her attack roll. And we're going to see what type of attack she's going to do. The 6 dice attack. And this is a power attack, and it's going to really hurt. Okay. So we got 6 dice here. Remember, they have precision as well. And +1 to all these attack dice. Okay, so that being +1, actually that is pretty nice. This was a success, this was a success, and this was a success. The other ones weren't. So only 3 hits, actually, against Helena, who has naturally a defensive 1. So she's going to take 2 damage. But she also has to put a cooldown counter. Now, she doesn't have anything to be cooled down, so that doesn't affect her. She does get knocked down and stunned, and she does get frozen. And she's going to take the 2 damage. All right. Then we're going to deal with the enemies that are on the same spaces as the twins. So we're going to start with the scavenger up in board B, and the scavenger is going to roll 5 dice and also has precision. Remember, that means that natural 6s are going to cut through defense. And these twins have -1 defense this turn. But they still have that avoidance. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so 2 attacks are going to cut through defense. That means this one does not hit. I believe that is how we do it. So these 2 hits are going to cut through the defense. That means they're going to take 2 hits, and they're going to roll a die for each of those hits. On a 5 or better, they don't take the damage. And they do take both those damage. Okay, so those twins up there have now just taken 2 damage. They have a total of 8 health that they can take. Okay, we'll do that. The next set of twins, dealing with the scavenger over here. Okay, so we've got, again, 2 successes. This time, none of them cut through the defense, so they have 1 defense, so they only take 1 damage, and we will see if they can avoid it. No, they didn't avoid it. So they are going to take now 1 damage. All right, very nice. So that is it. Oh, you know what? I didn't spawn enemies again, so we're going to have to do that now, and if they spawn in a space with a person, they're going to attack. So one of them is spawning in B1, and these are both scavengers, I believe. So we got 1 scavenger here in B1, and the other one is in B5. B5. There we go. So that's dangerously close to those twins. I think we got to save those twins first. Okay, and then we're going to pass the first player marker on to Peter Constant, and we'll be ready for the new turn. All right, let's do one more turn, and then we're going to call it a night. So, first, Peter Constant goes. He's going to reduce his cooldown by 1, and he should probably be heading over to help these twins. So we're going to go down 1 here. Now he can't leave that space until he takes care of that patient, so he is going to attack with his wooden cross. So we've got attack of 5 dice. It's a holy attack, which actually would work very well against ethereal enemies, but the twins are our allies, so that's not very helpful at all. So he's going to attack with his wooden cross with 1 action. And he rolled 2 successes. The patient, let's see, the patient has 1 defense, so unfortunately that was not a very helpful roll. We rolled 2 successes, so this wooden cross just takes 1 more durability, and the patient takes a single damage, which is not very helpful at all. But that's okay, we can continue working on it. We're going to do it again. We're going to use this last action to attack again, and hopefully we'll roll better this time. Ooh. Oh boy. No, that wasn't better. So again, the enemy just takes 1 damage, and we get another durability on this wooden cross, which means it's now at 5. It has a maximum of 8 because he does have a sharp mind. So that patient takes 1 more damage, like so. Okay, down to Marcus Dieter's turn. He can move down into the patient's space, and he's going to take his free attack with the scalpel. And we'll see how that is. No successes. That's okay. And it does take a durability as well. That's okay. So that was 1 action, and then he's sort of stuck here for a little while because he can't move out of that space until we do something about that patient. So, let's see. I think what I might do is try this unstable energy. So we're going to do unstable energy ability, and let's see what we do. And this didn't cost any actions or anything. So for the rest of the turn, my bare-fisted attacks get 2 extra dice and fire. That's really cool. So I'm going to attack with bare fist. Now that's normally 3 dice, but now it's 5 dice, and it reduces the enemy's defense by 1. So this is even better than attacking with one of my weapons. So I need 5s or better. Come on. Okay, I got 1 success, which is pretty good. Takes 1 more damage. And we're going to do this 1 more time because we have 1 more action still. Oh, come on. No successes. That's really awful. So that thing's going to still be alive for the next turn. That sucks. Alright, Helena Swan is going to stand up. She's going to remove her frozen status, and she is going to try to attack that vampire with her broken glass, which is another 5 dice attack. Oh, she needs to reduce her cooldowns. I don't know if I did that for anybody yet. I don't think I did. I think I don't know. Peter Constant, we got to reduce his cooldown. Let's just reduce everyone's cooldowns. That was something I just activated, but she definitely has to reduce her cooldowns. And she's going to attack with actually only 4 dice because she was frozen this turn. And 1 success. You can modify the result of 1 die by 1, but that doesn't help me out. So she did no damage with that attack. Okay, Dale Walker is going to try and step in here. And he's going to reduce all of his cooldowns. And well, let's see what we can accomplish with 5 dice and needing to roll 4s or better. I think we can maybe kill this thing. So first, he's going to go down here. And he's going to attack once and twice and 3 times a lady. So 1. Jeez Louise. Oh man, I'm not getting lucky with these attacks. So his gas pipe is going to take another durability. And we're going to try it one more time. Come on, Dale. Okay. 2 successes. That doesn't help me, though. Oh, my gosh. You'd think that he would be better at this. So, actually, things just remain how they are. That was an awful, awful turn all around. And then we're going to get into the movement phase. So let's see what the movement phase is for this round, and then that's going to be it. No event, which is nice, but we do have the blue event for both of our scenarios. So the blue in the vampires is all characters on spaces with vampires get a spider token. It causes 1 damage to the character at the start of their turn. Oh, that is actually no good, because that means Dale is definitely going to die. And this vampire didn't take any damage this turn, so the vampire is going to attack. Oh my gosh. And then the twin defense, twins attack a monster in their space chosen by players. That's actually a nice thing. So these twins are going to do 2 attacks. Wow, that's pretty nice. I guess because they're twins. So we're going to start with the twins up here. They're going to attack that scavenger on their space. So rolling 6 dice. And this is an ethereal attack, which means it ignores any defenses, although the scavenger doesn't have any. Okay, so the twins get successes on 5s or better, so that is 2 successes. That means that guy takes 2 damage. They're now going to roll 5 dice for their second attack. Okay, no successes there. So the scavenger does take 2 damage, which is almost but not quite enough to kill it. Alright, next, the twins down here are going to go. And wowzers, yeah, that was good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is definitely going to kill that scavenger. So good job there, I guess. Now, does that actually help us? Let's see. Does that help us with the twin defense objective? If a monster is defeated on the same space as the twins, that does seem like the monster got defeated, so these twins are lowering their countdown. Perfect. And the other twins aren't on a space with the monster, so that doesn't apply. Then we're going to randomize a memory token. So randomize a memory token on A11, which is right where the twins are, actually. That's convenient, I guess. We'll just put that there. And then the warden does move up to the 6th space, which would be over here. Whoop, over here. And then all of the other monsters move. Alright, we're going to start from the left corner again. So that patient moves in there. He's going to attack those twins. That patient stays where he is. That scavenger stays where he is. The nurse, we're going to see what happens to her. She did not roll high enough, so Helena repairs a damage, and the nurse takes a damage. She needs to take 5 to finally die. That is such a good ability. Okay, the vampire over here, we're going to roll to see what form she takes. She is in the wolf form, which means that she, I believe, gets +1 die to her attacks. Let me check that. She's in wolf form, +2 action points, and +1 attack die. That's right. And so she's going to stay where she is, and she is going to attack Dale Walker because he's the most damaged, so he's going to be dying at some point soon. This scavenger is going to move right over here to where the twins are. This one is going to go around the long way. This guy's going to move up here. This patient's going to move here. This patient can't move there, actually. So I guess he's going around the long way, too. Can't go through that door. I wonder if I moved him there last time. I don't remember. And then this scavenger's going to go here. This scavenger's going to go through here. This scavenger's here, or this patient. This scavenger's here. This nurse is there. This scavenger is here. Okay, and that, I think, was everybody, surprisingly. And then we have to deal with a few attacks. We will start with the vampire. So she is going to do the 6 attack. So she's going to roll 7 dice because she's in her wolf form, which we just barely have enough dice for. Oh, where was that when I was attacking her? My goodness. Okay, so that is 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, that is definitely going to kill Dale Walker. So when a character dies, we have a few things that happen. He gets placed back in solitary, which luckily is actually, we could just put him right there. Recover full health and remove 2 insanity. So all his health comes back and his insanity goes away. And the warden moves 3 spaces along the insomnia track. That sort of sucks. Oh, and also, they didn't mention, but everything gets a durability token. Hey everybody, I'm so sorry, I apologize for that. The camera ran out of memory, and that was fine. I caught that, and I uploaded everything that was on it, and then deleted everything and started recording again. But the problem was I pressed the wrong button, and I accidentally, instead of recording, I just hit the delete button again. I didn't realize I wasn't recording. So, missed a couple of things. So let me just do a quick rundown. So after the vampire attacked Dale Walker, and we dealt with all of this stuff for him dying, the other enemies spawned and attacked. So we got a couple enemies spawned, one here and one here. I know, it was on 12. So one here and one here. Then all of the other enemies attacked. The twins over here got damage dealt to them. The twins over here avoided damage. The twins over here, I think, avoided the damage, or maybe they did get 1 damage dealt to them. And then we started on the next round. So Peter Constant took his turn, and he basically he didn't take his turn yet. Marcus Dieter took his turn, and he swung and missed with the scalpel against the patient that was here. Then he attacked successfully with the lobotomy spike, and he used his bedside manner to heal the damage to himself. And then with his last action, because the scalpel attack was a free action, he moved into this space so that he can maybe go after those cabinets or go save these twins who are over here. The next person to act was Helena Swan, so she took some damage from the poison, and then she reduced her cooldown and everything, which meant she got to use her hypnotizing eyes and her blur attack immediately. So she used the blur attack against the vampire, and she rolled incredibly well. She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, plus she used an insanity to add the chaos die, so she got a total of 7 successes. With the 2 defense on the vampire, that was enough to deal the remaining 5 damage I need because of the handicap on this scenario, because of only playing with 4 characters instead of 5, and we've defeated the vampire. So now we're going to do see what happens when you have completed a scenario, because you get a few special benefits for that. Okay, we have completed the Vampire's Desires scenario, which means everybody gets a reward. Regain 1 insanity, draw a card from each mental disorder deck listed on your character card, pick one of these cards and discard the rest. That's it. And then also, I should remember that Helena Swan gets to reduce the cooldown on one of her skills. So we'll do the one that she just used, the blur. That is allowed in the rules, by the way. So let's do that, and then everybody reduces their insanity. So that, and he didn't have any insanity at all. And then everybody gets new skills. So let's pick some new skills for everybody. Let's start with the first player, Marcus Dieter. So he's got schizophrenia and anxiety neurosis. So we're going to draw a schizophrenia and anxiety neurosis card. So, Craziness Unleashed. Attack with a number of dice equal to your character's base max insanity. You can use 1 insanity to gain +1 to attack rolls. What does that mean? Oh, you know what? These different characters do have different base max insanity. I didn't even realize that was a difference in the characters. But he has up to 8, which could be a really cool attack. And then this one is gain +4 shields for this round. Whenever you are attacked, roll a number of dice equal to your shields. The amount of results with 4 or higher is the actual defense value for that attack. That's a really cool thing too. But we're going to go with Craziness Unleashed because that is amazing with Marcus Dieter, because he is rather crazy. Okay. Helena Swan's turn. So, and we can have up to 6 skills. I'm barely going to be able to squeeze those onto the table, but that's the maximum. Helena Swan's turn. She has schizophrenia and OCD. So we're going to draw schizophrenia. You know, I'm not taking these anxiety neurosis attacks or skills. All right, so she has Walking Death. You or a character on your space gain +1 to attack rolls for this round for weapon and bare fist attacks. Peter Constant already has that. Or Tactical Retreat. Stun a monster on your space, then move 1 space in any direction. Just because Peter Constant already has that Walking Death ability, and she's got some pretty cool non-weapon based attacks, we're going to go with the Tactical Retreat for her, and we're finally getting a non-schizophrenia skill on somebody. So that's her OCD. Dale Walker, he has aggression and OCD. So coup de grace, 5 dice, critical strike, and precision. So critical strike is similar to precision, except that natural 6s rolled count double. And if they get through defense. But since it has precision as well, which means the natural 6s break through defense automatically, that means that any 6s automatically count double and break through defense. So that's pretty cool. Or this one, Quick Draw. gain a free attack using one of your weapons and +1 to attack rolls. So this is nice because you get to attack without spending an extra ability. So, let's see. For Dale Walker, I mean, both of these are good. It seems like this one, the utility of it is just free action. This one, though, you could use even if you don't have any weapons. And he's currently got a gas pipe that is more than halfway done. It's going to break really soon. So we're going to take the coup de grace, I think. Yeah, we're going to take the coup de grace. So saying no to the OCD this time. Then Peter Constant has schizophrenia and anxiety neurosis. So schizophrenia, recover 2 health to all characters within range 2. Now, one thing that is never clear in this game is, does that include Peter Constant himself? I mean, this says recover 3 to you or a character. This one says all characters in range 2. I'm going to say it does include Peter Constant, but it's not really clear. Then Bloodbath, put 3 health tokens on your space. Any character on that space may use 1 action to remove a token and recover 1 health. Well, that just seems not as good as the Holy Nova. I mean, except that it's a little more flexible. 1 character could recover 3 health, but I mean, it costs multiple actions to actually recover health that way. We're going to take the Holy Nova skill. Cool. And you can tell me what you think, because the designers certainly aren't telling us. Does all characters in range 2 include Peter Constant himself? Okay, cool. So that was our reward for completing the scenario, and then at some point, we're going to clean up a little bit and put these vampires away, but I'll wait until I pause the video. So that was Helena Swan's first action. And she dealt a final blow to a monster, so she also recovers 1 health. Cool. So now she needs to skedaddle and try and help those twins. So, unfortunately, I don't really want to go through that area with the nurse in it, because if I spend 2 actions or 2 movement, 1, 2, to enter that area with the nurse, then the nurse is just going to attack me at the beginning of my next turn, or during the monster movement phase. So I might just be better off going around. On the other hand, if I do attack the nurse, or if I do move into that space with the nurse, I can just attack her and kill her. But I'm going to go the long way around, I think. So 1, 2, and that is the end of Helena Swan's turn. Okay, Dale Walker is going to take a damage because he's got spiders on him. You know, I should probably deal with those spiders and stuff at some point, but you know what? That's where the twins are anyway, so I think we're fine. Dale Walker just woke up back in his cell. He's really confused what's happening. But he's going to go kill some more things. He is going to go follow Helena, I think, because it's not really worth attacking enemies because of the scenario that we have. It's not really worth attacking enemies unless they're on the same space with the twins. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and everybody's just going to sort of meet up in that area. And then probably Peter Constant's going to go help these twins up here. Maybe somebody can go help these twins over here. But primarily, we're going to be dealing with the twins here because there's a huge group of monsters converging on them. So that was Dale Walker's entire turn, just moving. You know what? Actually, there's a rule in the book that if you're just moving, you can use what's called a run. So if you run, you only have to... you can't spend action points on anything except movement, but you can still do things that are free. And you get 2 extra AP for movement. So he is going to go, actually, like that. I believe that's the rule. Let's check that here in our player aid. Declare if you're running, gain +2 AP, but can only spend AP on moving. Perfect. So that's really nice. I forgot about that rule. I might have been able to use that at some point earlier in the game, too. So that was like the whole round. Oh, you know what? I didn't reduce cooldown on either of these guys. So reduce cooldown on Dale Walker, and we're going to reduce cooldown on Peter Constant as well.